Hi everyone. Um, Monday morning, just being nosy. Monday morning, and I've got to come on and reply to some comments, and I've got phone calls to make. I've fallen behind doing so many things. When you're not well, or when you've been in hospital, and even though I've not had anybody at my bed 10 hours a day, um, things just don't get done. So, um, my doctor phoned me this morning after he'd received a letter from the hospital doctor and a referral from the district nurse about these falls I keep having. And this last one, when I went flat on my back and fractured a bone and damaged my groin and damaged the pubic bone, and they can't really do much with that. So I've just had to suffer it. Well, it's 6 weeks tomorrow since it was done, and it's still hurting me quite a lot. I've now got to the point, I don't know whether it's my back or whether it's my groin and pubic bone that's doing it or what, but I feel that my back's hurting me. I feel as though I've got concrete weights hanging from my thighs down to my shin bone, my calf, so I can't move. I had 2 falls last night, one of which was in the bathroom. I fell onto my right hip again, so once that prosthesis hasn't broken, fell onto my right hip, and then I fell again, flat onto my face. And there's no reason for these falls, no reason. Other than that, the medication I'm on doesn't agree with me. I don't know, it's too strong. The doctor certainly at the hospital thought I'm on too much for my weight and my height. But she wouldn't interfere with anything. It's got to go back to my own GP, the one who phoned me this morning. He's up on holiday now, and comes back on the 19th of October, which is when he's given me an appointment for. He said, but in the meantime, if the pain gets too severe, if you're not managing it with the morphine, if you fall and you break something, get yourself straight to A&E. Of course I will. I think the accident, the emergency room's sick of seeing me, but with all these breaks and fractures I'm having. So that's what's going on with my life. That's why I've not been around much, and why I'm behind with just about everything, really. But I'll get there, you know. As I said the other day, it's one of those things, isn't it? You've got to get on with it. And I love this coffee. You just have to get on with it. And I'm almost, touch wood, heaven forbid, but I'm almost wishing for another break. Whatever it is that's bothering me, just go once and for all and let me get to the hospital and get you sorted out. Oh, life. Talking of which, I wanted to give you a little bit of info about my life. You see me moaning about the grifters on here. I can't stand them. I've got a complete intolerance for them, and a disgust at people who will manipulate others in order to get what they want. who will manipulate, canoodle, blackmail, do whatever in order to get what they want. And emotional blackmailing. Little bit of that, I think, going on with a certain person I mentioned who told me what was going on in her background, and I'm not sure why, unless it was to make me feel sorry for her, but the biggest trauma that happened to me was losing my husband last August. And quite frankly, I don't need to listen to other people's traumas because I've got enough of my own, real ones. I will never stop talking about grifters. I will never stop pointing them out, picking them out and picking at them until all that horrible veneer, that syrupy, treacly sweetness is pulled away from them. All that with Pink Fairy, all the sarcasm, and she thinks she's clever, she's not, she's an illiterate woman, and the playing with her hair when she goes into stores and then touching goods. She does that because she knows it winds people up and it gets views. But those of us who view these things, who know, go on to the Invidious platform and you don't get a penny for us watching. How these women have got so little self-respect, I will never know, and so little respect for their families that they would behave in the way that they're behaving. Life by Jennifer mentioned that when she was taken into hospital, her family and Jean and the consultants, etc., sort of sat round the table and decided on the best treatments. Well, has she got family? I don't know. Her mother died some years back after her life had been made a complete misery by Jen, after the mother was running round after her, making her meals and getting a lot of verbal abuse and physical abuse if the meal wasn't to Jen's liking. And that's not hearsay. Jen's admitted to that. Whether she's got some remorse, I don't know. But she's certainly got no regret over what she's doing to other people and using them and ripping them off. What man needs to sit at somebody's bedside for 10 hours if you've got a family member who's very, very seriously ill and you want to be there for a few hours? If they're at the point of dying, that would be when you're at the bedside. When they're on the point of death, so that they don't die alone. All he's doing is being there so Jen doesn't eat alone, so Jen doesn't sleep alone, so Jen doesn't talk to herself. Well, she's got us to talk to, hasn't she? People like me who hang on her every word and think she's a living oracle. Yes, I can be sarcastic and I can be nasty. And these people who rip people off, they've seen nothing yet. Not really. Me, from a very large family, 10 of us. And I was the youngest girl of 5. I had 4 older brothers, 1 younger brother. They're all my half brothers and sisters. My mum was married before my dad was. My younger brother is my half brother. Mum was widowed. My dad died when I was 10. And I discovered when I was in my 40s that I'd got 3 other brothers and sisters. 2 brothers, I should say. 2 brothers and 1 sister. All of whom live in Ireland. One of them has passed away, the other 2 are still living. One sister was a nun. The brother, a musician. I come from a family of diverse personalities, all sorts of personalities. The eldest brother who lived at home, he was over 20 years older than me. And so I didn't really get to know him, but I got to know the others. And that's what I'd like to come on and talk to you about how families can have an impact on the lives of those left behind, if you like, who are part of that family. Jennifer talks about abuse and all sorts of horrible things that went on in her life, as does Chantel, Foodie Beauty, as does Amber Lynn. Me, the things I wouldn't dream of telling because they're too hurtful and they're too shameful. And it's really not anybody's business, not even a therapist. They're my things to work through. That's why I find it hard to believe when people come on YouTube and they pour out every little thing in their life and more, almost as though you're watching a soap on the television. And with some of them, I tell you, I can detect them. I've got a nose for these things. Look, a Roman nose, and it detects these things quite easily. Right, my video's running on a bit long, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to come on and do a video solely about me. If you'd like to hear that, let me know in the comments if you would. And leave all this dross, these people behind for a little bit, and just talk about myself and my family and my upbringing. I think you'll find this interesting. And I'll be back later. Let me know. Bye-bye.